Hey guys, in this video we will discuss 15 important frequently asked questions on cyber attacks in SOC analyst interview or network security engineer interview. So let us start with the first question. What is 0-day? So this is the most frequently asked question. A vulnerability or a malware that has been identified but doesn't have a fix yet. It is a time period between a vulnerability or a malware being identified and release of patch or signature. So it is exactly a time period between a vulnerability or a malware that has been identified and a patch or a solution comes to it. So here is a diagram I am showing you. You can go through this to better understand this 0-day. What is cyber kill chain? Cyber kill chain is a very important question. Definitely you are going to get this question in the interview. So there are totally 7 steps like reconnaissance, weaponization, delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, and action on objectives. Reconnaissance is like making a survey or researching about like who are vulnerable targets and how we can easily attack them. And weaponization is after getting an easy target, you will prepare your weapon, like attacker will prepare a malware kind of or a Trojan to attack that particular target. Delivery is getting that malware or a weapon into that target. And exploitation, so once you can get successful in installing, or attacker gets successful in like installing or delivering the weapon into the target system, he starts exploiting. So installation is like installing the Trojan completely into the system or a target system, so that he can get full access through that a Trojan or a malware that has been installed in the target. Command and control, getting control over the file system, getting control over the services of the system, so that you can exploit the system and get whatever the information you were interested, or attacker or interested into the target system. So action on objectives, so for what purpose you have attacked the target, so that purpose is served now. So these are the 7 steps that are involved in the cyber kill chain. So this is an easiest like question that you can confidently answer. So again, if you answer this very confidently, that will create an impression, and this will be like a good thing in an interview. What is an exploit and payload? This is a very basic question. You can get this kind of a question in the interview. Exploit is a tool Exploit is a tool that takes advantage of a vulnerability. Usually, exploit is used to penetrate into a system taking advantage of an existing vulnerability. For example, Eternal Blue that took advantage of the SMB vulnerability. See, giving examples, this plays a vital role in your interview to create a good impression. So once you explain using examples now, so that will clear like how good you are at the concept. Okay, so next, the payload. Payload is actual malware or a part of a malware that does the damage, like deleting files, stopping services, encrypting files, gathering and sending sensitive information, or taking pictures. So WannaCry is a famous ransomware that has attacked the Windows system. So WannaCry has used Eternal Blue as exploit and had ultimate intention of encrypting the files and demand ransom. Brute force attack. This is again a very important question in an interview. They will definitely ask something related to the brute force attack. Okay, so brute force is a password guessing attack. It tries various combinations of usernames and passwords again and again until it gets in, like until attacker gets into or gets successfully logged into the system. So here you can see in the picture, the attacker uses or guesses a list of username and passwords and repeatedly try to log in into the account, and once he gets successfully logged in, he can steal your data. So how to prevent this particular brute force attack? To prevent this brute force attack, you should encourage users to use complex passwords, lock out accounts after few attempts, use CAPTCHA to slow down brute force. See, it is a continuous repetitive process, no? So if you use CAPTCHA, it can slow down the process. So use multi-factor authentication. This is very important. Once you use multi-factor authentication, it gets difficult for the attacker to get the control over your account. So again, one more important question is the dictionary attack. What happens in dictionary attack is a type of brute force attack. it uses a list of words in a dictionary as passwords. Like if it is related to you as a user, you definitely give your username and password related to your family, date of birth, or your favorite color, something like that. So here you can see in the diagram, user data can be like password can be guessed by using surname, name, date of birth, and the passwords are generated using this, and using that generated passwords, attacker tries to attack the system. So dictionary attack can also be personalized by using details of the target like date of birth, spouse name, children name, vehicle number, etc. So how to prevent this, or what is the mitigation? Okay, so advise users not to keep a simple what a simple word or easily identifiable information as password, or encourage users to use complex passwords, lock out accounts after few attempts, and use captcha to slow down the brute force. So again, this becomes a simple concept that you can confidently explain. So let us move on to the next concept or next question that can be asked in the, or a frequently asked question in the interviews. What is spoofing? Okay, spoofing is a malicious practice employed by cyber scammers and hackers to deceive systems, individuals, and organizations into perceiving something to be what it is not. So you may see like some emails or some SMS like you have own $10,000 or 10,000 pounds. So it is like an IP spoofing, like something which is actually it is not. Okay, it is just to steal your data or steal money from you. So similarly in the network, the IP spoofing happens like if a user sends some data to another user from source to destination. So victim will be the destination user, so for whom the attacker may spoof some data into believing like he's the legitimate sender who is sending the data, so that he can give the important information to the attacker, not to the actual user who is sending the data. So how you can stop this, or few types of spoofing, one I have shown in this diagram: IP spoofing, MAC address spoofing, email spoofing, and DNS spoofing. Email, that is simple. Email spoofing, you can explain like something you have owned, or your bank password has been changed, or it is old, you have to change it. So if you try to change the bank account using that particular what link they have provided in the email, you will definitely lose out your credentials. So next question is, what is scanning? This is an important question. They will definitely ask about port scan or network scan kind of thing. So here you can see in the diagram there are two different scans: external scan or internal scan. So scanning is actually a method for discovering exploitable communication channels, such as scanning for open ports, scanning for known vulnerabilities, to identify vulnerabilities and prepare weapon to attack or exploit that vulnerabilities. So how to prevent this scanning is use of firewalls and intrusion prevention system will protect you from the scanning. OS hardening is again one more method, and if your organization is big, you can use honeypots to detect scanning activities, and you can safeguard your organization or your network from that kind of scanning. Next question is, what is sniffing? Again, it is an important question. Sniffing corresponds to the theft or interception of data by capturing the network traffic when it flows through a network, or usually done using a packet sniffer, like stealing data from the data packets flowing into the network. So from that also important information will leak out to the hackers, and hackers can use it to exploit or steal data from the network. So how to prevent this is, avoid using insecure protocols like HTTP, FTP, Telnet. Instead of these unsecured or insecure, instead of these not so safe protocols, you can go for the safe protocols or the safer version of these like HTTPS, SFTP, and SSL. Or also you can use encryption whenever possible for data transmission. That will protect your data from getting sniffed. This is really a very important question and a frequently asked question in any interview related to cybersecurity. What is phishing? Okay, so phishing is again a major attack. It's a cyber attack that uses disguised email as a weapon. So something example I just gave now, like you will get a message like your password has been, like you have to change your password, it has been old. Some message you will get from a hacker pretending to be a bank professional, and if you will not clarify he is a legitimate bank person, then you will give all your details to that person using the links that he has sent to you. So you may lose your all money if you give all those credentials to him. The goal is to trick the email recipient into believing that the message is something they want or need. Example, a request from their bank, for instance, or a note from someone in their company. So ultimate intention is to get the user to click a link or download an attachment which may be a malware or ransomware. So how to prevent, or what is the mitigation? Use email security solutions to block obvious phishing and spam emails. Educate users about these spammers. Use DMARC, domain-based message authentication, reporting and conformance. So DMARC is a standard for verifying the authenticity of an email. It offers email receivers a way to verify if a message is really from an authorized sender or not. Name some phishing attacks. Okay, the spelling mistake is here. I think you can you can understand. Name some phishing attacks. Okay, the first phishing attack is a spear phishing. Okay, what happens in the spear phishing is an email scam targeted towards a specific individual or organization or business. Attacker use the information they have gathered during the reconnaissance to make the email appear personalized. Okay, so here you can see in the diagram, threat attacker identifies a target and sends legitimate looking email. Victim opens the email containing malware and hacker gains access to steal data. So this is what the attack is all about. The next similar attack is whaling. Okay, whaling is a type of phishing attack that targets senior management or leadership teams or important individuals at an organization to steal their data so that they can get control over the company's main important accounts. So lastly we have wishing. Okay, wishing is again similar to phishing but somewhat different. Wishing works similar to phishing. Here, instead of sending an email, the attacker tricks the target to give critical or sensitive information over phone call. So here you can see in the diagram, a fraudster calls the victim pretending to be the bank. The victim shares the credentials or any other form of authentication. The fraudster uses the shared credential to steal the victim's money. So this is what wishing is. So next is a very important question. The most frequently asked question in any cybersecurity interview is DOS and DDoS attack, or difference between DOS and DDoS attack. DOS means denial of service. It is a type of cyber attack in which the attacker seeks to make a machine or network resource unavailable to its intended users by temporarily or indefinitely disrupting the services. So this is like to use if there is a company like Amazon or Flipkart, they are gaining more success by their services, and some opponents may try to defame them by attacking their servers and making them busy. Okay, especially in the flash sales it has been happened. Okay, now no company like Amazon and Flipkart are holding flash sales, but during flash sales the company had faced these problems. So UDP flirts, ICMP flirts, SYNC flirts, fragmented packet attacks, ping of death, etc. are some of the examples. Okay, so coming to the distributed denial of service attack, again it's similar to a DOS attack, but it's a type of attack where multiple systems, instead of one systems, multiple systems are used to launch DOS attack on one target system. Usually DDoS are result of multiple compromised systems called botnets. So here from this diagram you can easily make out the difference between DOS and DDoS, and from the definition you can clearly come to know the differences between the DOS and the DDoS. DDoS is more deadlier than DOS attack. Okay, so how do you prevent from this, or what is the mitigation? You can use anti-DDoS technology like Arbor. You can rate limit or limit the number of connections from an IP or user, reduce connection wait time, and deploy load balancers. So again, if you will be asked what to differentiate between DOS and DDoS attack, you can use this particular like table and study it, and so that you can comfortably and easily answer the differences. So major difference is that there is no malware involvement in the DOS, but in the DDoS it uses malware to affect multiple machines. Okay, I think we have gone through these points in the earlier definition. Later you can pause the video and go through the differences. Next question is ARP poisoning. Again, important question. ARP poisoning or ARP spoofing. ARP poisoning is when an attacker sends falsified ARP messages over a local area network to link an attacker's MAC address with an IP address of a legitimate computer or a server on the network. It is used to do a man-in-the-middle attack. So this is a very dangerous thing. Okay, so where a hacker sends the false like MAC address so that he can, whatever the traffic he is receiving, he can receive through him, so that he can go through the traffic and extract the important information. So how to prevent this, or what is the mitigation, is the use of static ARP. Detect ARP poisoning using tools like ZARP, set up packet filtering, install antivirus, and keeps signatures updated. Man in the middle attack. One more most important question in an cybersecurity job interview. Okay, so man in the middle attack, as the name suggests, there will be some hacker in the middle of your communication between source and destination, or a user and a server or a web application. So man in the middle is an attack where the attacker secretly relays and possibly alters the communication between two parties who believe that they are directly communicating with each other. Okay, so what is the mitigation or what is the solution for this, or how you can prevent this? But the use of static ARP to prevent ARP poisoning. Use encryption so that the man in the middle or a hacker in the middle of a connection should not like come to know the what information is inside your packets. Okay, so if you use encryption, all the information will be encrypted and hacker cannot read out that. So prevents, actually the encryption prevents the attacker from leveraging the data. Use intrusion prevention system that can detect sudden change in the network performance. What is DNS poisoning? Okay, so it is also called as DNS spoofing. It's a type of cyber attack that exploits vulnerabilities in the domain name system to divert the internet traffic away from legitimate servers and towards fake ones. This is really dangerous. I think you can understand from the diagram where the request to the real website is being sent, and it is being like the DNS server is being loaded with the false information or injected with a fake DNS entry by the hacker, and that takes the client or a client request to like a fake website where he will give all his information, so that hacker uses that information to like exploit the users over the network. Okay, this is done by introducing corrupt DNS data into the DNS resolver cache. So this is how the DNS poisoning is being done. So here, DNS spoofing is or DNS spoofing and DNS poisoning are same thing. Okay, so how to mitigate, or what is the resolution for this, or how to prevent this, or what is the mitigation? Regularly audit DNS zones, keeping DNS servers up to date, restricting zone transfers, and limit recursive queries. Okay, yes, we are moving on to the last question, that is DNS tunneling. Okay, DNS tunneling is a method of cyber attack that encodes the data of other programs or protocol in DNS queries and response. So usually DNS traffic is allowed through firewalls, and attackers take advantage of this. It is used for data exfiltration without being detected. Okay, so it is a very dangerous attack, DNS tunneling, and it has to be prevented, otherwise you will lose important information of your network. So what is the mitigation of how to prevent this is IPS systems can help detect few DNS tunneling attacks. Intrusion prevention system plays an important role in preventing DNS tunneling attacks. Block communication to IPs that are known to be used for data exfiltration. Use DNS firewall and deploy standalone DNS protection solution like info blocks. Okay, as I said before, if you use such kind of examples or the vendor names, or like antivirus vendor names, or some firewall vendor names in your explanation, that will create an impression. Okay, so kindly use that. So here also you go through that diagram where exfiltration has been done. Okay, so this is how the DNS tunneling has been, like how attacker utilizes this technique to get or steal data. So these are the frequently asked question, 15 most important questions that will be asked in the first round of your cyber security job interview. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Do share this video among your friends and subscribe our channel. So if you want these notes, you have to do two things. You have to subscribe my channel and comment in the comment section. So later I will ask you in the comment section to leave your email ID so that I can mail you this notes to your personal email ID. Okay, otherwise I will provide a Google form into that description. You can fill out that Google form and subscribe my channel and like the video, and to those IDs I can send the mail. Okay, send this particular notes. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.